something. I feel like this is even better than the Beauty of Joseon one. You can see the colors like coming out of my lashes, definitely longer than my right side. It almost has an airbrush finish. Hey girly girls, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sylvia, and if you're new here, welcome to our girly girl community. Today I'm gonna be showing you guys how to do like a quick 10-minute makeup tutorial that I found on Xiaohongshu and give you some tips, because a lot of girlies in the comments have been talking about not being able to do their makeup for work or school or anything like that, and this is kind of like a quick version you can kind of do every day, because I myself do my makeup every day for work too. For me personally, how I explain it to people is some people wake up and have their morning coffee. Makeup for me is my morning coffee. If I don't wake up and put on a YouTube video while I do my face, I feel like I'm not awake. It wakes me up in the morning and I feel like it keeps me energized. If you're interested in learning how to get a kind of natural looking makeup look, continue watching and don't forget to subscribe. So I feel like I don't really talk about this, but actually sunscreen is one of the most important things I never ever skip. I've been using sunscreen daily since I was 17 years old. I went to a beauty expo recently and they have this kind of machines that scan your face. Like, the others were pretty bad, but for my UV it was really good. It came out, the lady was like, oh my god, like you're probably really consistent and really good with sunscreen. And I was like, in my heart I was like, yes, I've been using it since I was 17 every day. This is the best sunscreen I've ever used. This is the Skin Aqua UV Tone Up Cream. The only downside, maybe for some people, it is a tone up cream. It can make your skin look ashy if you have darker skin tones, because it gives you that kind of like whitening tone up effect, that brightening effect. Personally, I use quite a good amount, so sometimes it might look a little too much, but the main reason why I love this sunscreen so much is because it's so lightweight. No matter how, among all the other sunscreens I've ever tried, this one is probably one of the best. If you hate that there's something on your face, or you feel like after putting on something, I feel like this is even better than the Beauty of Joseon one. It feels like absolutely nothing on your skin, and I recommend this to everyone. I feel like all the people I recommended it to, they really like it too. But if you don't really like that tone up effect, then maybe it's not for you. But if you don't mind this tone up look and kind of like this lightening, brightening effect, then I feel like you would really like the sunscreen, because honestly it really feels like nothing, guys. I tried cheating on this sunscreen with every other one and try like new ones, but I keep crawling back to this one, and I feel like the tone up effect looks really natural. It just brightens your overall complexion. I wouldn't really call it white casty because it just looks so natural, you know what I mean? Look at this. My skin is already so much brighter, and it protects your skin. I like to put the leftover on the back of my hand, but it made my complexion more even and brighter, which is why I really like this sunscreen. And the best of all, it really doesn't feel like anything. If anything, it feels like a moisturizer. It doesn't leave any type of like feeling. If you compare this to the Beauty of Joseon one, this one wins hands down. Definitely recommend. And for everyday wear, one thing that you can consider instead of using a cushion foundation, since it's a lot easier as well, or a full coverage foundation, is getting some BB creams. Recently I've purchased these two BB creams, and apparently there's a new Misha BB cream in the purple kind of packaging. I haven't really tried that yet, but this BB cream has been pretty good. I can't really give you guys a full review because I've only used this maybe once or twice. I'm still on holiday right now, so I don't actually start work till the 1st of August, so that's when I'm gonna start using this every day. So I'll keep you guys posted. But in the meantime, today I'm gonna try out the Burrito one, and this is gonna be my first impressions. For BB creams, I feel like you definitely need a little bit more than what you think you need, because foundations are usually full coverage, but BB creams usually are more lightweight and comes with more acne friendly and kind of skincare like ingredients, and they're a lot more lighter than a full face of foundation. Definitely you can consider this as an everyday thing, because I feel like it's less pore clogging than the normal foundation. But honestly speaking, if you take the time to really remove your makeup properly every day, putting on foundation shouldn't be that big of a problem. But just in case, if you have if you're worried about your acne or any sort of things, then definitely you can consider using a BB cream instead of a foundation. But yeah, I think I put on a bit too much, a little bit less, because I feel like the Misha one, it was really lightweight. That's why you need a bit more. I felt like it wasn't enough coverage, but this one seems like it gives like a good amount of coverage. Oh my god, I think I have a little bit too much on. For you guys' reference, I'm using number 21 light beige, and I'm also using the A-Models puff just because it's so easy to use. I'm just gonna pat it in outwards and then inwards towards my face, and also just go on my eye. I have a blemish right there that covered pretty well. I definitely put on a little bit too much than necessary, but you can definitely use a lot less. I'm just gonna rub it in like how I thought you guys in the foundation one. I feel like it's similar in my mouth area. My base looks pretty good. Let's see how it is throughout this video. But in terms of coverage, actually, I feel like this Burrito one is a lot better than the Misha one straight up, because it really covered my blemishes around here pretty well, and my face looks really even. I'm surprised. I think I like this one more than the Misha one at the moment. And I'm always raving about this puff, truly so, because look how fast I did my foundation or like base makeup. It's super quick, blends in fine, there's no streaks or anything. They also have a brush, but I think I much prefer the puff just because it blends in my makeup so seamlessly and so quickly. Personally, when I get ready in the morning, I don't really want to think about what kind of colors that I want to put on my eyelids, especially if it's like 6 a.m. and then the sun's not even up yet and I'm here doing my makeup. Definitely, I recommend someone to get a smaller palette like one of these. But the main problem with this one, if you watch my shorts, is it does not have a highlight shade. There are 3 mattes and 1 shimmer shade, but the mattes here are not light enough for your aeyosal if you like doing that, as well as light enough as a base shade. That's why I like colors like this, because there's so many base shades that is offered. This is the Seek one. I've had this for a while now. I've just been using this, but honestly, if you look at it, the colors are not that different, so I just kind of like mix and match it. But if there's one more shade, like a light highlight ones, like one of these here, then it would have been perfect for an everyday makeup look. My advice to you is to look for eyeshadow palettes that has at least one makeup shade and kind of transition shade, and then like one of these are perfect. You can add in a shimmer shade or whatever, but you just need a highlight shade for a good aeyosal makeup look. I'm just gonna be taking one of these base shades here, and remember to always tap off the excess on this pan just so all the fallout won't fall on your face, as well as it kind of diffuses the color into the brush so it gives you a more even look. I personally like starting the eyeshadow base with a super light color that you can't even see on your eyelid, if I'm being honest. This is just so when you start working with the darker shades, it does not overwhelm your eye or too much pigment will come out. Because the main point that differentiates good makeup with like not so good makeup is you want to slowly blend the colors out. You don't really want like a harsh kind of like patch of color on your eye. You gotta build it up slowly so that it's more like airbrush and diffused. And a good way for beginners especially is to have a pale base, just so that whatever color you're gonna put on, it is gonna be lighter because you already have that like base light color on your eyelids. So anything you add on or piled on, it wouldn't be as harsh. I also like to just use the top and just kind of bring it down as well. It doesn't really have to be neat just because it's a base shade, but I'm just using the same base color, tapping off the excess as well as just bringing it down on my lower lids. Using the right tools is also important. If you have smaller monolid eyes like me, using a flat brush is actually a lot better than using a fluffy brush. I only use the fluffier brush for the base shade, but now that I'm moving on to the point shade, I'm gonna mix this light color and this darker color together. So I kind of just tap a little bit and kind of tap off the excess again on the palette. And we're gonna start with just using the flat bit on your eye and brushing it in a swipey motion like this. And you can see the colors like coming out more diffused naturally. It doesn't have to be super pigmented, you just kind of want it diffused out like that. I'll do the left eye quickly. This is just to add some dimension into your eye, and then taking the same dark color and tapping it out again. I'm gonna also be kind of like tight lining, but not really tight lining, like tight brush lining the bottom part of my lid. I definitely want to bring the darker colors on the bottom of my lid instead of the top, just because my eyes are a lot smaller. So, and I also have a longer philtrum, so I'm trying to shorten my mid face to kind of bring more balance into my face. If you also notice that you have a longer philtrum, maybe you can also do this step to shorten your mid face. It'll make you look a lot youthful and kind of balance your overall look. And for the aeyosal today, I'm just gonna be using my contour palette. This is a Judy Doll one in number 1. I'm just gonna use the lighter color here and tap out the access, starting from the center. I'm gonna be honest with you, when I first started doing aeyosal, I always thought that the line was more important than the highlight. But after doing this for a while now, I noticed that having the highlight actually makes your aeyosal pop more than having a dark line under your eye. That's why I suggest you invest in a good highlighter, or have, well, not really good highlighter, but have like a highlighting color in your eyeshadow palette, just so you can build the color up. I used to love using like the gel pens, but now I feel like the eyeshadow makes it look the most natural. I definitely recommend using eyeshadow instead. Next, I'm just going to use this really small flat-ish brush for my under eye. As you can see, this is kind of trusting the process. At this point, I feel like my lower lashes look a bit too dull and dark. It looks too much and dull, and it makes it look like I have eye bags instead of aeyosal. This is the most important step, which is the highlighting. Now for the highlighting, you can take, actually, if you already have a palette like this, you can actually use this color here to highlight. So I'll use this on the right eye, and I'll use the eyeshadow one on the left eye. Take one of the lighter shade. This one has some shimmer in it, so don't pick the one with like shimmer, pick the matte one. Do the same thing, tap the access out on the back of your palette and squint. It's really easy for you to find the highest points. As you can see, it's kind of catching the light here. You kind of just want to swipe left and right. Don't worry about it covering the previous work you done, because that is the whole point, is to give your eye more dimension. As you can see, the left eye here now pops so much more than this right eye. Definitely the highlighting point is more important than just the contouring. As you can see right here, somehow it makes the contouring look more obvious than this one. This one just looked really messy and dull. It makes so much different. Definitely try this trick. Now I'm gonna go ahead with this highlighter. Honestly, I think it should work the same. Technically, if you only have this kind of eyeshadow palette, it would work, but sometimes if you don't want to, I don't know, bring your contour out, then same, I'm gonna squint my eye and highlight 2 points right there. Ta-da! The aeyosaling. I'm gonna move on to the mascara, and usually when I'm doing my kind of commentary or talking about new products, I'll kind of like skip it and not really show you guys, but this time I'm gonna show you guys what I do. I personally love the Kill Lash Superproof Mascara in volume. I think if you have itty baby lashes like me, the volume one is always better than the lengthening. You would think that you need more length, but I feel like the volume actually makes your lashes be seen. So if you're choosing between lengthening and volumizing, and if you have itty baby lashes, always choose the volumizing. But honestly, that's just my experience. You might have to try it out, because I feel like everyone's different. Definitely try both out, but I feel like most of the time the volumizing is better than the lengthening one, in my opinion. How we're gonna do this, actually, if you don't know how to put mascara on, here's a good tip. Usually when you first buy your mascara, it tends to be kind of too liquidy and sticky, so you tend to make a lot of mess. What I like in the mascara is actually when the formula dries out a little, so it's not as liquidy anymore. But if you want to focus on having better eye makeup and focus on your lower part, having lower lashes is really important. Before, I used to not care about putting mascara on my lower lashes. Now it is always a must and I would always start off with my lower lashes just because I need to coat it at least 2 times for it to actually be obvious, and you can't really coat it twice at one go. You have to really build that mascara out. Similarly to eyeshadow, you gotta slowly build it up. That's what you do when you apply 1 to 2 coats of mascara. It's kind of like the same concept. This is just 1 coat of mascara, and if you have monolids like me, you can't do both of your mascara at the same time, because what would happen is you do this and then you're gonna have to tilt your head up, or if you do the top. Hey, I'm just interrupting to remind you to please subscribe and ring that notification bell if you haven't already, because a lot of you aren't subscribed and I want you to be able to join the girly girl club. So hit that subscribe button right now. If you decide to get anything off of any site, whether it's Style Korean, YesStyle, or OliveYoung, please don't forget to use my code. It really helps me out a lot and I appreciate your help so much. Hot one, and you tilt your head down when you do your bottom one, what's gonna happen is the mascara is not gonna dry properly, so it's gonna smudge all over your eyelid. So that's why I suggest you do your bottom mascara first. I got one eye done, now I'm gonna do the next eye. I do 1 coat of mascara on my bottom lashes first, then do my eyebrows, so I can leave my bottom lashes to dry out, the mascara to dry out a bit, and after I'm done with my eyebrows, then I do like the top coat or a 2nd coat of bottom mascara. That's just how it is. Unfortunately, if you have itty bitty baby lashes as well as monolids, you just get used to it. And you can see just with having just this 1 coat, I already feel like my makeup is coming together really nicely. Now I'm gonna move on to my eyebrows while I let the mascara set and dry. I also usually use my Xiaohongshu kind of eyebrow pencil, but today I'm just using this Unleasha one. I kind of like really thin eyeshadow pencils like this because you can control it really easily. I feel like if you're a beginner, this is definitely a lot easier to use than other types of eyeshadow kind of eyebrow pencils. Unfortunately, I feel like the only problem with these kind of eyebrow pencils is that they get used up really quickly. They finish just like that. I feel like you would use this for 2 weeks and all of a sudden there's just no more product in it. That's just why I like that Xiaohongshu, because I've been using it for almost 2 years now and there's still a lot of product. Plus, I feel like, as I mentioned before, I don't really care about my eyebrows as much just because I have bangs. But I'm gonna be honest, I learned from you guys, buying an eyebrow mascara is actually a game changer, especially if you have lower visual weight like me. I went ahead and bought the Kiss Me Heavy Rotation eyebrow mascara, and this is in the shade number 12, is gray beige, and it really does make a difference. You can see right now I filled in my eyebrows. They're quite dark naturally, and this one definitely lightened my eyebrows a bit. You have to go in with kind of a super light hand and just kind of coat your eyebrows, but you can see that it lightened my eyebrows just a tad bit. I was trying a bunch, but I felt like the lighter ones are a bit too light, and this one just lightened it up slightly. And it really just gives more focus to the bottom part of my eye compared to this one. You can kind of see how like sharp and dark my eyebrows are, and while this one kind of like balances it out. Definitely do recommend this. I swear to God, guys, I was just filming my video. I got called twice. I don't usually get called, and then I felt like the call was a scam call, so I ended it, and now I have my phone on airplane mode. It's getting ridiculous. But yes, anyway, going back to the eyebrow mascara, I really feel like it does make a difference. I know this color is not super light, but honestly I can definitely see a difference. And there's so many other colors too, definitely worth checking out. Now that I've gotten scammed called, my mascara is definitely dry. I'm going ahead with the 2nd coat of mascara on my bottom lashes. And I also feel like with the 2nd coat of mascara on the bottom lashes, it is a lot easier to coat all of my lashes compared to the first time. It doesn't really get as messy as the first time around. The left side of my lash is definitely longer than my right side, so you can see here that it looks a lot nicer. Before moving on to the top coat mascara, I'm just gonna quickly do my contour. I feel like contour can really break or make your eyeshadow, and I was watching a bunch of videos on Xiaohongshu. A lot of people tend to go on the edge right here, but actually you want to focus a little bit lower on your brow bone right here. Can you see that little edge that goes in there? That's where you want to contour, actually, not really from your eyebrow, but a little bit lower from your eyebrow, and that like C motion that you're doing right here, and it kind of makes your contour a lot more natural. And then for the bottom, I usually just kind of do a V like right at the tip of my nose, as well as this side. And you can see the difference with the other side when you're not contouring. Also another V shape inwards. I'm not gonna be doing the exact same thing as some of the videos I'm putting up, but I'm just putting up the videos that I thought was interesting as well for you guys to learn some of the Xiaohongshu makeup tutorials that I've compiled for you guys. I hope that's helpful. And like I mentioned before, kind of Subway Surfer. I used to not contour my nose at all before for work, but now I feel like it's pretty important. It really makes you look a lot better than without it. And for blush, because we're kind of trying to focus our attention more on this side and as well as shortening our mid-face, I'm going to put it right under my eyes, a lighter color first. The Seek Warm Blending, and this is number 1. Just these two colors I like to mix, dap it on top and right under my eye. My top lashes, I kind of curled them off camera just now, but I'll just curl them one more time. It looks a bit scary when I curl it. Mascara, like, it doesn't really change my look that much. It does look a little bit better, but I wouldn't be like, wow, my lashes are so visible. Because some people, when they put on mascara, it really changes their whole look, but for me, it just never did it. Actually, something that I bought recently, I messed up. Something that I bought recently was magnetic eyelashes, and I was really excited to try them. I'm still waiting for them to come, but if I could, I would definitely skip putting on eyeliner and just put on the magnetic eyelashes, because I think I've been really digging the no eyeliner look, because I used to not leave the house without eyeliner, but now I've been kind of digging the no eyeliner look. I guess one thing good about monolids is that even if you made a mistake, you can't even see it when your eyes are open. I can't really remember, but I feel like I wore the same outfit the last video I did. I'm gonna go back to the Nature Republic palette with the darkest shade, and this is the sharpest right angle brush I have, and I'm just gonna use that for eyeliner today. For eyeshadow eyeliner, you definitely want a super straight and thin and sharp brush. What you want to do is look straight and rest your pinky on your face. Just you can balance yourself, and then you kind of just want to swipe it where it is. Honestly, for eyeshadow liner, it's a lot more forgiving. If you make a mistake, it's a lot easier to blend it out and start over again. Bad side is it's not as pigmented, but honestly, for kind of everyday makeup, you don't really need something so pigmented. And I've been digging, like I said, I've been digging the no eyeliner look, but definitely it's a different type of skill set. I wouldn't say it's as difficult as liquid liner, but yeah, that's my eyeliner, pretty long. I'm gonna do the other side real quick. So just looking straight and just following your line out. I kind of messed it up a bit. It looks wonky. Look at this one, looks way better. What the heck is that? Then you can just kind of remove it with your finger, and it's so forgiving. It's gone. There we go. And if you think your liner looks a bit off, it's not the liner, it's the bottom part. I'm gonna use just a slightly softer brush, but still a right angle brush. I'm gonna use a color not as dark as the liner one. This one here, tap off the excess again, and I'm just gonna connect the bottom to that liner, and this side as well. If you want, you can kind of add like fake lashes at the bottom, but today I'm not going to. And the last tip I have for you to shorten your mid-face is to actually put more product on the upper part of your lips instead of your lower lips. I also like to kind of overline my lip a little bit with just my lip tint. You don't necessarily need a lip liner all the time, so I usually like to round the tip of my lips like this, and then I'll just put a little bit on this side here and blur it out. I went ahead and darkened my aeyosal a little bit because I felt it was a bit lost in translation. But if I weren't talking about the products, I feel like I can definitely finish this look in 5 to 15 minutes. It is not difficult at all, and I feel like I look so put together now, with more of an emphasis on shortening my mid-face. I feel like it is a very cute everyday makeup look, and I definitely do really like this BB cream. After putting on the blush, it kind of like mattify my face, as well as the points where I didn't really use the matte powder. It looked really nice. It almost has an airbrush finish, very beautiful. Honestly, for first impressions, this is really good, and I would definitely recommend it. For now, based on my first impressions, I'll have to try it again soon, or try it out more often and see how it wears throughout the day. But this looks really pretty. I hope you learned how to do a super basic 10-minute everyday makeup look. Let me know if this helped you down below. I feel like a lot of people have also asked me to watch Dear Peachy, and I do watch her. Aside from the more natural, everyday, beginner-friendly makeup looks, maybe I'll try a harder makeup look or recreate some good makeup looks from Xiaohongshu. Let me know what you think down below. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I had a good time hanging out with you too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more girly beauty.